Most of the children we heard from are pupils here at Smallwood Junior School in Tooting, London. We wanted to give them the last word. How might Doctor Who finally end?
I'd like to all the monsters group together and fight Doctor Who.
Some creatures might take his TARDIS away from him.
He'd be going for a time barrier, and he'd probably run out of petrol.
He might change again.
I think one day he's going to die somehow.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the final episode of Doctor Who Season 2. We are here, people. The reality war. Detonate the reality war. And you guys know what that means. We are 1 week away. Our goal, our target was 30,000 subscribers, and we have 1 week left to do it. So join us, join the crusade, because after this season wraps up, whoa buddy, do I have some of the craziest stuff planned of all time, but it's not done yet. No, we still have one last story, and I am more nervous than I have ever been. Whatever happens here, however good the story may be, all of it sets the tone for every discussion surrounding Doctor Who for at least the next 2 years. So, no pressure, buddy. I have high hopes. I am the #1 Belinda Chandra fan. I am the #1 RTD2 fan. And I am not watching in the cinema. But thank the Lord, thank the gods. No 8 AM upload. We won! We won! Doctor Who finally releases at a sensible time. And it's the last one that they're ever gonna do. Let's go! The main question on everyone's mind is, will Ncuti Gatwa regenerate? Will we see the end of the 15th Doctor? I'm afraid. I don't think they'll do it, but they might, they could. Help me, DW fans, in this time of need. Let us all band together and let's take a look at the bingo sheet. Bingo! It is almost done. Either way, I am satisfied that somehow I managed to call most of the things that would be happening, even if none of them happened the actual way that I thought they would. And of course, to everyone watching, do not forget to post your own thoughts in the comment section down below. The final community reaction video for a long time. So let your feelings be heard, people. And on that same wavelength, to everyone who helps support the channel, the live reaction and the reaction highlight to this episode and Wish World should be coming out shortly. It is all coming together, people. We are on the eve of battle. And I don't know who I am anymore. See you on the other side, folks. And we're back, hooray. How do I feel about this episode? What a layered question. You guys should have already seen it. I've released a rant video talking about Billie Piper as the 16th Doctor, but let's move away from that. Yep, spoilers just immediately, I don't give a fuck. The 13th Doctor's in this episode. Omega is a massive skull dinosaur. Ncuti Gatwa regenerates, etc. Let's talk about the story. It's structured painfully. It's meant to end 30 minutes before it actually ends. Hooray, we get a Marvel-esque action sequence where they fire lasers at these big dinosaurs, the bone beasts. Wish World did seem to be more important to the story than I gave it credit for. Positives for that. The Time Hotel. So we did know about this because Stephen Moffat said in the commentary track to Joy to the World, which I bought the DVD specifically for the commentary track, so I already knew this, that Joy to the World would tie into the finale somehow. I didn't expect to see Anita here, but she came here and she was weird and nothing like the character who I liked originally, so it felt like nothing. She stands there awkwardly in shot because the main problem with this story, and Rusty Davies knows it himself, come on lad, get better at this, there are too many characters in every every scene. In every scene, I'm pretty sure in one scene, there are 10, maybe 11, maybe 12 speaking characters in one scene. It is a clusterfuck. If you've watched Infinity War, you know the tactful, clever, and brilliant way that they get around the fact that there are almost 20 main characters and they've all got to serve equally is by splitting them off all into groups. You have the Asgardians of the Galaxy that get split even further. You have Captain America's group, you have the Wakanda group, you have Iron Man's group, you have Thanos, all of these different characters, a lot of different B stories. Here, it's all A story. One A story with 12 characters, and you've got to get them all in somehow. I should probably say, by the way, just full preface, I didn't watch this episode on my own, so the recording, the reaction will not be available to members, but I did manage to catch my reaction to a few key moments, so that will be available for members, aka the reaction highlight will remain available for members, but the full raw reaction will not. And I watched it with two people I love very much, my family, and they are the ideal audience for this. They loved it and they made me enjoy it a hell of a lot more than if I watched this by myself. If I watched this by myself, I would be far more cynical, far more complaining, as if I'm not already. But I must confess that with this episode, I did have quite a good time. That is despite the very obvious structural dialogue flaws. It's like a pantomime. They have pages and pages and pages on the unit set, and I know that they're doing that because the set is expensive, so they've got to justify the costs. As a story, it stalls and is boring and so much techno-babble. Mel gets more of a face-off against the Rani than the Doctor does, as if Time and the Rani isn't one of, if not bottom 3 episodes of the show ever. Garbage. Utterly garbage. Now, I'm lucky that I was watching with people who love Mel, but in my opinion, I thought she was crap. I thought the whole thing was crap. Project Indigo! Hooray! Project Indigo's back. The CGI set piece reminded me of season 7 Flash. It was fun. It was fun enough. You know, the flying about set piece, flying, boom, boom, chaka, back, chaka, baka. It's not what I watched Doctor Who for, right? Like, I couldn't care less. It's action for the sake of action. It's epicness without actual scale. It feels so studio bound to me, which meant it all fell flat. The Rani gets eaten unceremoniously. Mrs. Flood runs away to be a mystery box for another day. The boss, holy fucking shit, they're beyond parody. They're still dragging out these mystery boxes. Can I just put a ban on all mystery boxes? Can I just put that here now? Please stop. Omega comes back. He's retconned. Hooray, hooray. Awkward, really lame, ugly design. Pretty bad special effect. Anti-character, and he's defeated in an unoriginal, bland way where the Doctor says, back into hell, because do you get it? It's like End of Time, because do you get it? This episode is just End of Time. If I didn't like End of Time, what makes you think that I'd like this episode? This is just End of Time, but worse. Oh my goodness, Omega. I almost forgot about Omega. The lore, people, the lore. Hooray. I'm so glad I didn't do an Omega video, because they just tossed that all out. So they completely retcon everything to do with Omega. I knew they would. It doesn't matter. The story of the original is far more interesting. Omega's new story is crap. He looks ugly as fuck. He has no purpose, and he is dealt with in about 3 minutes because who the fuck cares? They canonize the Pythia. References to the 7th Doctor EDAs. That's what the fans were wanting. That's what we'll love. I'm sure that all of these new Who fans, they're going to be jumping for joy at the canonization of Lungbarrow. Hooray! Hooray! Omega's life is retconned, and then he is turned into a lifeless, skinless husk. Is this a metaphor for something? It perfectly sums up the whole show. I don't know, maybe you need to rehire this guy. The 13th Doctor shows up for no thematic reason. My least favourite way cameos are done. The Fugitive Doctor, that cameo was pointless. Susan, that cameo was pointless. Is that all to set up season 3? Is season 3 even gonna happen? The stuff with Poppy is probably the highlight of the episode. You've got this very cool and sweet scene where the Doctor and Belinda are passing the coat back between each other until it eventually just goes into nothing. Brilliant. I never once was really invested in Poppy, but Poppy is just an absolutely adorable baby, so how could you not find a Conrad is dispatched with about as much, I don't know, importance that deserved to be given in the first place. He feels like an anti-character. He had no reason to be there. Awkward, terrible crap villain. One of the worst in Doctor Who history. You know when Jack Robertson has you beat? That's when you know that it's rough. Jack Robertson is more subtle than Conrad. Holy fuck. What the shit. Belinda's dad doesn't even get to be seen on screen. The epilogues are so long and drawn out. And the reason the 15th Doctor dies, regenerates, is contrived and bullshit and lame. On the plus side, the direction is masterful. A lot of the shots are incredible. We are pushing the boundaries on special effects. My favourite shot, if I can find it, is this one, just because on a technical front it is very impressive. The characters were all incredibly rushed. Yasmin Finney literally appears out of thin air and then contributes nothing. It is a mindfuck of an episode. I could just about make out what was going on, but I didn't care. Wish World is better than this episode by quite a bit, and that is a bad sign. Oh my goodness, that time hotel scene. Oh my god. We go back and we have a clip show of all the past episodes, and then Anita sees 15 with Rogue. The implication was that Anita and 15 were romantic, but then he sees 15 with Rogue, and it's implied that their relationship is just so magical that Anita gave up on the Doctor. I don't know if they missed this part, but the clip that they stole from the 11th Doctor, that was from an episode called The Wedding of River Song. Who is she getting married to again? Anita changing her mind here makes no sense because Rogue was before Joy to the World. Joy to the World also not being a very good episode. I mean, dang. At least Ncuti Gatwa got some great last moments. He's just on top form. He's the stunning star of this episode. He's just brilliant. This is his best performance by far. He is incredible here. I also like the bit where Jodie Whittaker calls him handsome because, I don't know. And you know what? Well done. Well done, Ncuti Gatwa. You came out of this with your pride intact, with your courage intact. You came out looking like a legend. So props to him. Props to Varada Sethu, who gets an exit of all time. Ruby also gets an exit of all time. All of these characters just kind of wander around and walk about, and they all randomly talk. Can I just say something, Rusty Davies? You've said this yourself. Sometimes characters don't need to talk. Sometimes no one else needs to talk in the scene. Sometimes cutting between all of the characters talking, it doesn't feel actually honest. It feels melodramatic. The Rani just standing in the middle of unit headquarters. Why does no one just grab her? The Rani in general was boring and unthreatening and redone of what we've seen before. There isn't really anything new in this story. It's all stuff that's been done before. The action is stale and flat and dry and boring. The character dynamics are similar. The emotion is lacking. The logical flow from scene to scene is lacking. The editing is lacking. The pacing is all over the place. There are sparse moments of pretty good stuff, pretty fun stuff, and it all comes together to make a semi-enjoyable episode of Doctor Who. But for what it represents, it is, in my opinion, an abject failure. And still better than Lucky Day. I retroactively lower that episode to a 3 out of 10, and I'm going to put this one as a 4. Hooray! Huzzah! The reality war. I'm sure we've got so much to talk about here. Oh my goodness. Everything this episode represents is just a shambles. You guys have already heard me rant and rave. It's enjoyable enough. It's the biggest praise I can give to it. Don't forget to subscribe. God, maybe I'm just a fucking hater. I feel drained. I feel tired. I feel overheated. And this episode changed everything, man. It changed everything. So what did you guys think? Did you enjoy it? Are you more positive on it than me? Did it really hit you emotionally? I can see that. I can see people loving this one. I really enjoyed it, but that is 90% down to the people who I watched it with. I think as a story, this one is insanely weak. And it can't ever really be that good because it is so derivative and unoriginal. It's basically just copying his own homework. In my rant video, I said that the decision to make Billie Piper the 16th Doctor kind of taints everything. And that's... It depends, right? Spoiler alert, I hate it. I despise it. I'm never going to change my mind on that. But I still really enjoyed this era. And I will watch the next stuff. And you know what, I'll even watch Rusty Davies' new show that he's working on. Sounds pretty good, sounds pretty interesting. You guys realise that I like Rusty Davies, right? Like, I like his shows, and I like his stuff. And I like this. I like this. And I liked a lot of it. And that won't change. I didn't like End of Time, but that doesn't mean that I don't love Journey's End and The Stolen Earth, and all of the episodes that came prior. And same here, the reality war, it doesn't There are parts of it that make me angry. Similarly to how there were parts of the giggle that made me angry, specifically the last 5 minutes. And the bits that make me angry in the reality will make me far more angry than the giggle. But in the giggle's case, the episode was rather strong. Here, the episode is rather weak. It's just okay. It's kind of a mess. It's kind of just a clusterfuck, is how I describe it. But I don't hate it. The episode doesn't make me angry. And I think all anger will pass, you know? Wounds heal. Scars fade. That anger is temporary. And so I don't hate this episode. And I wouldn't even say this episode is really that bad. But for me, as a fan, it's not what I want Doctor Who to be. And this is as a fan of Doctor Who as a whole, as a fan of Rusty Davies, as a fan of Rusty Davies' Doctor Who, and as a fan of this Rusty Davies 2 Doctor Who, as a fan of all of those, separately and together, this is not it. This isn't it. And my fears have been realised because regardless of the quality of episode, I couldn't give a shit if an episode of Doctor Who is bad. In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. People have made bad episodes of Doctor Who in the past. People will make bad episodes of Doctor Who in the future. It doesn't really matter. It just is what it is, right? And in the years to come, it'll be fun to go back, even to bad episodes, give them a rewatch, and just have a laugh, right? That's the joy of Doctor Who. Joy to the world, and etc, etc. But for what this story represents, and the creative decisions that it indulges in and makes, and how that sets the tone for Doctor Who in the years to come in the future, this is my worst case scenario. This is my nightmare. This is my ultimate victory, Doctor. The destruction of the show itself. Is that hyperbolic? Maybe. I'm feeling all dreary and cynical and angsty. Is this how fans felt in 1989? I guess we'll never know.
An empire toppled by its enemies can rise again, but one which crumbles from within, that's dead. Forever.
But yeah, again, what do you guys think? I'm going to be giving this one a 4 out of 10, which is just so generous. Even if you like this one, if you like Billy Piper being the Doctor, oh my god. You should be kissing the ground I walk on that I give this a 4 out of 10, if you're one of those people, okay? I am being so generous, and I give it a 4 out of 10. Don't forget to leave your comments in the description below. We might have to do 2 community reactions. We might have to do 3. All I'm saying is, the journey does not stop here. The videos will continue. In fact, they will speed up in pace. Doctor Who Season 2 may be over, but DW Fan 91 has only just begun. So don't forget to leave a like, don't forget to subscribe, and a special thanks to everyone who helps support the channel. Tom, Cardboard Oracle, Silver Safi, Bonnie, Zoom, Dr. Hoomst, Jack D. Murray, Vorshcom, The Instinct, Kai Keller, Renegade Time Lord 97, Manny, Eric, Ren, Poop Criminal, Diego, Theta, Dark Tranquil, Chicky, No More Flippin', 6th Doctor Fan 84, Comfy Glitch X, Harry, Sanyu, Hamara God, Noah T, T Mara, Dobcool, Casual Log, E West, Christian Rothfuss, Unreal Dinnerbone, Aidan Davies, Reef Edwards, Space, Amber Knight, KC, Snarly, Connor Bell, Ertle the Turtle, Andrew Locke, Bill Fleming, Hush, Wasabi, Jessica, Kai M, Kylo Wade, Mel, Owen, Toby Wan Kenobi, Sophie in the Sky, Goldfish, Johnny, Anthony Lentz, Fuchsia the Jester, Benzuko Lives, Freddie, Ross, JRW, Ethan, Hiroki, Swaro, Philippe, Nick, Kastretch, Just Him, and Teddy Bite. And with all that said, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye!